What should we learn from Jacob when he prepared to confront Esav? So it tells us in Parsha Vayishlach what he did. He prayed, he prepared a bribe to appease, and then he prepared for war. In his case, the first two are enough. But you have to cover all your bases. You never know. When he sent the malachim, his messengers or angels, to go check out where Esav is standing, he saw that he's ready to go to war. So he had to prepare himself. So we prepare on all levels. So while we're also fighting the military side, we also have the spiritual side. When I say spiritual, I also include psychological. Informing people, giving them the strength, knowing that we will prevail, and we have prevailed. Don't be afraid. Remember, a military that's fearful and in panic cannot really fight properly. So the morale, the psychological, emotional fortitude is just as important as the weapons and the munition and all the military strategies. And that's part of what we need to be doing as well. We have family members, we have friends. So we have to continue strengthening each other and say, yes, there's a challenge, but we're a mighty ship. Am Yisrael Chai, we are connected to the deepest eternal things. We brought beauty to this world that has transformed it forever. So we go and we march with that banner in hand and knowing we will prevail. So in that context, since we're talking about Jacob, I just want to say, let me see here. Dear Rabbi Jacobson, in many articles and speeches over the past few weeks, there was a common theme based on the Rebbe's teachings, which is that when the terrorists did to us, that what the terrorists did to us was evil and we have to defend ourselves physically and spiritually. The IDF can take care of our physical protection, but we have to fight the spiritual war by adding in mitzvahs and adding in kindness. Some articles mention our patriarch Yaakov preparing to meet Esav by getting ready for physical war and davening to help aid in the spiritual war. But Yaakov also did a third thing. He prepared gifts to bribe and pacify Esav. Shouldn't withdrawing from Gaza 20 years ago and giving them the land be considered a gift to bribe the Arabs to pacify them and help make peace? It apparently didn't work. Well, Yaakov's appeasing was a logical calculation that he thought it may work, and it did work. He knew Esav, it's his twin brother. Not all appeasement is the same. You try to appease a Hitler, you try to appease a person who's ready to murder you, then we have what Churchill said, that appeasement is feeding the crocodiles in the hope that you'll be eaten last. So no, appeasement is not just a general principle across the board. We learn from Yaakov you have to cover all the bases. And appeasement like the Rebbe would say, peace for peace, not peace for land. That's also appeasement. We'll do peace with you. Cultural exchange. There are many ways to do peace. Until you establish that absolutely true friend of yours and not an enemy. Because you give an enemy a little, immediately they'll just wait and then they'll grab more. So I remember the talks the Rebbe gave in 1973 I should say, Tavshin Lamed Dalet, 5734, Yom Kippur War, was go all the way. The Rebbe was insisting, going to Damascus, go to Cairo. They were just a few miles away. And the Rebbe said, not because you want to occupy, not because you want to take over Syria or Egypt, but you want to show the enemy, you go all the way into their heart. Yes, it's humiliating, but it shows it's a deterrent. And that's the way to peace, he said. That's the way to peace, not just for Jews in Israel, for all people. Obviously, if people are truly at peace with each other, you come to terms. But at the end of World War II, it was required to have unconditional surrender from the Nazis, from the Germans and the Japanese. Anything less, to let them save face or have their pride, even an inch, after Berlin was completely bombed, after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, you cannot let the loser think, even one iota, one fiber, that they're in the right, because then everything is destroyed. You have to know who's the winner, who's the loser, who brought this misery upon us, all the millions that were killed. And the same thing here. So there's no room here in that case for appeasement. And no person on earth whose family was killed in such a manner, in any manner, would ever say, let's appease the enemy so they won't kill me more of me. Okay. Is it a simple matter? No, but that's what needs to be done.